Thank you and welcome. This is Arpit Joshipura. I head up Edge, IoT, and Networking at the Linux Foundation. And today we are going to cover, or at least I'm going to introduce how LF Edge is unifying the edge for tomorrow's demands. And this is in reference to IoT Edge, Telecom Edge, Cloud Edge, Enterprise Edge. The first thing I want to emphasize is the definition of edge. And we at LF Edge, through the State of the Edge report, have come out with a very simple diagram that explains what edge is. If you look at the bottom, there's two major categories, user edge and service provider edge. And essentially, it is constrained devices, smart devices, on-prem, data center edge, which makes up the user. Essentially, the edge is in the control of the user. And then you have the last mile, like a network connection that gets into a base station or a smart central office, which really is part of the service provider network. And up to that point, you have 20 milliseconds of latency. So edge is defined as a location and an area where you have not just proximity of compute and storage, but also responsiveness, which is 5 to 20 milliseconds of latency and mobility. With that background in mind, we at LF Edge have some amazing projects that make up the cross-section of creating a unified framework for the edge. Starting from the bottom, which is infrastructure to applications, you have a series of projects that are on the user edge side. And then you have a Crano, which is mostly focused on the telco, but it also includes blueprints, which are end-to-end declarative configurations for use cases that are tested and validated in the open. The projects that we host include EdgeX Foundry, which, why you are here, as well as some of the other projects like Fledge, Home Edge, Beetle, Eve, Open Horizon, that are all making up different parts of the edge ecosystem because there's no one answer for the edge. When you put edge projects in context with the rest of the ecosystem, if you are a telecom or a telco provider, you come across projects like ORAN, which is the Open RAN for 5G. You come across projects like ONAP, which is the network automation platform for 5G, as well as OPNFV, and OpenStack and Kubernetes as the core public cloud open source projects. We also work closely with the consortiums like ETSI-MEC, ACC, IIC to create this end-to-end use cases for the edge. Let me give you a quick flavor of the edge use cases. Starting with home edge, as the name implies, anomaly detection in your house, surveillance in your house, etc. Very important to get a framework in place for the edge. If you go down to Eve, which is an on-prem software for edge virtualization, you get DevOps at scale, and again with partial connectivity. You move up into a constrained environment, you have an IIoT/predictive maintenance. So this is all Fledge, where you can do turbines, transformers, pumps, lots of those things. But then the real frameworks, right, stage 3 projects are all part of Crano, Edge Stack, and EdgeX Foundry. These are the most mature LF Edge projects. Crano brings telco blueprints, as well as vertical application blueprints like connected vehicle, AR classroom, as well as enterprise edge and private LTE type blueprints as solutions. It's got 16 blueprints that are being used for deployment across the globe. And then finally, EdgeX Foundry, which is kind of one of the most sought after projects with over 6 million downloads, obviously, focuses on building automation, industrial process control, smart cities, retail, etc. So a wide variety of use cases are being addressed. Blueprints are being created to solve these use cases in a very specific configuration, hardware and software that are tested in the open so that you can actually go from projects to production very, very quickly. So with that said, LF Edge is a large global umbrella under the Linux Foundation. And we have a huge set of diverse premier members, all the way from silicon players like ARM, Intel, Qualcomm, to cloud players, Baidu, Tencent, to industrial players, GE, etc. And obviously the standard end-to-end system players. So really excited to host LFEdge projects with the premier members and over 80 other members that make up this community. The community has really seen an acceleration in terms of memberships, in terms of new projects. You can see, State of the Edge, Open Horizon, and a couple of others are coming on board, deployments and downloads, as well as increase in the number of developers that we can see cumulatively on all projects. So really excited to host this. And if you need more information, it's on LFEdge Wiki. But with that said, welcome to EdgeX Challenge Shanghai 2020. Excited, and thank you for having me virtually open this for you. Thank you.